Hey, what's up, guys? I've got kind of a different video for us here today. I just got myself a little package here from China, courtesy DHL. Um, this is going to be a weird one. If you came here, you probably already saw in the title. This video is going to be about Proxies, aka counterfeit cards. Long story short, I got a bunch of cards in my collection that I'm kind of doing the opposite of what a lot of people do with proxies. A lot of people will they'll build a deck and then they'll put proxies in place of cards that they don't own, and that the proxies are just there until they come up with the cards. You know, that they're like, oh, well, I don't have a Mox Jet, so I'm just going to use this proxy until I actually buy one. Well, I'm kind of doing the opposite here. Although I covered my bases, I got some stuff that I don't have as well, just to kind of show and tell. But basically, all the cards you see here are in decks of mine. I mean, not currently, obviously, since I got them in plastic here, but these cards are in decks, and I want to take them out of the decks and put them in binders, essentially, and then put proxies in their place. So, I mean, these are all legitimate cards, so don't let this fool you, the title of the video. Like, this is an unlimited IC manipulator. I've got like a revised Demonic Tutor, revised Wheel of Fortune, Alliance's Force of Will, Dark Maze of Ith, Alliances, revised Soul Ring, some revised Underground Seas. My fourth one is graded somewhere, so it's not with us. But let's get right into it. So I ordered this online. I guess I don't really mind sending business his way, but basically I got onto a subreddit called Bootleg MTG and just kind of asked around because I really didn't know anything about Chinese counterfeit, and I didn't want to just order them straight from eBay or some kind of website like Proxy King. I even kind of feel bad about mentioning that just now because I can't really attest to their quality of their cards or their customer service. So I asked around. I found this guy that people just call Ron, and I emailed him, told him the cards that I was looking for. He was very kind of prompt about getting back with me. Didn't have any problems with the orders. The only thing that was kind of wishy-washy was that I guess we'll find out once we get into this, but I think that I wanted revised proxies of Soul Ring, and out of my 32 card order, I think it was, that was the only thing that he didn't have. That he had Soul Rings, but they were beta counterfeits, I believe, if I'm remembering right. We'll find out once we get into the packaging. So I told him that was not a big deal, to go ahead and just ship it the way it was. I had the choice between just regular shipping or using something like DHL. I decided, since this was coming from China, I wanted to have a tracking number. And the other thing was that regular shipping was going to be like 30 days or more, and I didn't really want to wait that long. So anyway, I'm going to unpackage this off camera, but I just thought that I'd show here that we've got the way that he sent it here. I assume that there's going to be a card box inside of here, and all the cards are inside the card box. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and unpack this, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So he sent me some card sleeves. That's kind of interesting. Certainly didn't order those, but I'm assuming that that's covering his bases, that he's not technically allowed to export counterfeit cards from China since they're copyrighted. I don't know, I'm just guessing that he's actually selling, he's saying that he's selling card sleeves. I don't know, I'm speculating, I have no idea. I probably won't use these, I don't recognize the brand. But as suspected, this is how this came. That's really not a problem, I don't think. But I'm gonna try to do this with one hand here, so bear with my handicap. And I'm just gonna dump them all out here. There we go. Look at all that good stuff. Oh, hey, I didn't even order that. So again, came like this in the box. He put some extra little like bubble wrap type stuff in here to kind of keep the cards from shifting around in the box. And then let's see what we got. I did not order this card. Chains of Mephistopheles from Legends. That's pretty cool. Man. Tell me that doesn't look pretty legit to you guys. I mean, the ink is really clear, and I feel like Legends cards are usually not that clear. I don't have a Legends card handy. What else we got? The Abyss, also from Legends. Man, that's nuts. Now, I can tell already, just like people say, it feels waxy. It feels really smooth. But man, even the back of that looks pretty good. I mean, I can tell that it's not right. Let me try to get another card, or actually, here we can do it like this. Perfect. We'll grab a Juggernaut out of here. Oh man. So you can tell right away which one is the Counterfeit, because you can see like the glossy kind of reflection on this. And also I feel like the color, the color's a little dark. It's not really, I mean, granted, this is a revised card that's obviously kind of moderate play. So, wow. I mean, you can tell like the border is kind of more purple colored than an actual card. Actual card is a little more blue. I think on camera it's coming across as kind of purple, but you can see that there is a color difference here. But again, like the big standout is just how smooth the card feels. It feels just like a regular like 52 card deck, like playing card, like a bicycle card or something. So anyway, we'll leave our control out here. So I wonder if these are just extras that he threw in. I don't know. Put those to the side. So what do we got here? So we've got a moat. I also did not order that. That's pretty neat. I mean, he might have thrown these in because he didn't have the soul rings that I ordered. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, they're really stiff too. Oh wow. Like I'm not big on the bend test and bending my cards. But like, oh yeah, you can tell it's subtle, but like the card stock inside is heavier. I assume that has to do with Magic cards using that blue core paper, which is supposed to be a little thinner and lighter, and that the counterfeits use a black core, which is a little heavier. It really does. It feels heavier. You know what? I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to grab a scale and see if I can't weigh these cards and see if this one is actually heavier. So another... All right, well, sorry for the tease, but it turns out that the battery on my scale is low and I don't have replacements on hand. They're like watch batteries. Sorry, we'll just have to make do. So basically what we're going to say is that this is like 1.8 ounces and this is 1.9 ounces, and then we're just going to move on. All right, so now these I actually did order. I just wanted some cards that I didn't actually have to kind of see how the quality was, and just because I thought they were neat. I figure now while I'm looking at these, I got a Mistress Workshop, and a Caracas, Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale, and a Bazaar of Baghdad. Now while I'm looking at these here, I'm going to talk about kind of the ethics behind all this. Like, I want to encourage whoever's watching this to keep in mind, like, that counterfeiting probably exists for the purpose of hosing people, of scams and such. I mean, this is like probably a $2,500 card. Now, you're never going to be able to pass this off at like a shop or something as authentic. Anybody that knows what they're looking at is going to be able to tell if this is fake without even picking it up. Where some Joe Schmo that's trading his collection might get suckered in to trading you a bunch of good stuff for one of these cards because he doesn't know any better. And obviously, I really want to discourage that. I think that counterfeiting, for the purpose of proxies for people that play vintage, is, not such a big deal. I'm really impressed by some of how clear like the logo is on the Arabian Nights compared to old counterfeits that I've seen pictures of online. So, I mean, long story short, if you're interested in counterfeits, don't be a Timmy, don't be a schmuck, don't try to hose people. I really just got this stuff for myself. I have no intention of selling or trading any of it, obviously. So don't do that. It's really long story short. All right, so let's get on to a little side by side. Again, sorry, I'm working with a handicapped here. Sorry to keep jarring the camera a little bit. So here we go. So this is my Mazavith. I got a couple of these. I think I got probably 4 or 5 of them. Love this card. I feel like this card is super undervalued. I guess it's probably been reprinted by now, and that probably doesn't help things, but man, for a land that can untap target attacking creature to nullify damage, I just think that that's so sweet. I mean, I just love this card. But anyway, so this is, well, I don't know why I'm looking at the actual one. I guess just to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. Sorry for kind of a little shaky hand here. Versus the fake. So the coloration is a little off. I'd say that the text is a little kind of like dull looking. It doesn't quite pop. It's not as crisp as I feel like it could be. And of course, same deal. It's really waxy and smooth. We'll do another little side by side here. So again, you can tell that the color is a little wonky on this stuff. Although it's really not that bad. It's still the smoothness to me. Like if you look at a card, you can kind of see the texture of an actual Magic card, how it's kind of got that rippled paper, kind of look, where this has a real shiny, reflective, smooth, plasticky, waxy kind of finish. But at a glance, from a distance, other than the fact that this one is worn from play, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, obviously you can see the difference in color. I mean, it's really kind of scary how good the counterfeits have become. I mean, it's like these have become higher quality than actual Magic cards at this point. It's crazy. There we go. So we got some Power 9 in here. Is that a thing? Here, we'll hold off on that. Set my actual maze aside for a second and pull out a little Force of Will. Put it with the Force of Will. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out of plastic, pause the video, mix them up. You tell me which is which, and you'll be able to really easy. Get ready. Okay. Which is which? Which is real and which is fake? Can you tell? Can you tell? I'll be honest. Over the camera like this, with them side by side just like this, I really can't tell. If I look at the actual cards, I can tell, but here on camera, I have a really hard time telling. There's kind of a giveaway here in the video, which is the wear on the edge of this card. You can tell this card has seen play. This is the actual card. This is a counterfeit. I mean, and to me, that's kind of frightening almost. how good that is. I mean, I feel like if this card had some wear on it, the coloring is almost dead on. I mean, this card, not on camera, is just a little darker than the other card. Doesn't really come across well on camera here. Now I'm going to bet that the backs, it'll be a big difference. You know, it's not a huge difference, but again, you can tell that this is a little kind of darker. The colors seem a little kind of faded or blended. It's not as sharp. And then, of course, the usual waxy, glossy reflectiveness of the card. See if we can't get zoomed in on the greens here. Come on, focus. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, I mean, the green and the green, it's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty close. Now, I don't have a flashlight handy, but I'm going to tell you right now, these would not pass the light test. This goes back to what I was talking about with like this card feeling heavier and having a black core. The light isn't going to come through it the way a real Magic card should. And again, man, as soon as you pick up the card and hold it, it's obviously fake. I mean, it feels like it's made out of plastic. I mean, it's crazy to actually hold one of these. I've never actually held or even seen in person a counterfeit card that I'm aware of. But man, as soon as you hold it, like I said before, it feels like a bicycle playing card. It feels like plastic. It's nuts. Now, I was hoping to do a comparison of these with my Soul Ring, but obviously I can't because he didn't have a revised one, so he had to go with these betas. I don't have a beta to compare it to, so I'm not really going to spend any time on this. I just figured I'd show what those look like. I feel like anybody that knows what they're looking at is going to be able to tell from the text or be able to tell from the black to black border. Or, you know, some people are even going to be able to tell from the alignment in the casting cost that the numbers aren't quite in the right place within that circle. But that's going to take a keen eye. But again, as soon as you hold them, they feel like crap. Let's see here. We got some crazy stuff now. Are you ready for the heavy hitters? Here you go. You can buy yourself a house now, guys. We got an unlimited and a beta Black Lotus. I've never even seen in person in my life a Black Lotus. And so now here on the table I have two. But of course, they're phony baloney. And I don't even feel like the coloring on them looks very good. But again, I've never seen one in person in my life. So I can't really say with a great deal of certainty. This kind of goes with the other cards that anybody that knows what they're going to look at, you know, what they're looking at is going to be able to tell this is bogus. I mean, this doesn't look real to me at all. Not even a little bit. This looks fake as all get out. Where this doesn't look real to me either, but it's closer. But I'm just going to move on. We got a couple of Moxes. Again, an unlimited and a beta. And then I'm just going to move right along. Again, a couple more Moxes. Can you tell I play blue-black decks? If you couldn't already tell, these will give it away. All right, now I'll tell you what, on camera, these don't look too bad. But in person, when I'm actually, you know, looking directly at the card, not on camera, they just don't look right. I mean, it's subtle, but just the coloring on them is not right. Let me see if I can find the one that's in the worst shape here to pull out. Probably this one. Let's see if I can shake this out of here. Okay, so we got, oh, of course I got double sleeves here. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a double bagger. All right, so let's get some of this crap out of the way. Okay, there you go. I'll tell you what, I've heard it before, and I think it's true. Somebody that doesn't know what they're looking at could really get hosed on these. I mean, this card is not in as good a condition as these. I should probably take these out, but I'm just not going to fuss with it. The reason I say that is that this card has a little yellowing to its border compared to the other ones. I think the guy I got this from was a smoker, and you know, so it's caused a little bit of yellowing to the card. But I think that if this was either cleaner or this was a little dirtier, this could pass to somebody that didn't know what they were looking at. And I mean, if you put this in plastic and that, you know, and put it in a case, I mean, the untrained eye is going to have a real hard time telling these apart. I mean, obviously the coloring here on this part of the card is way off. You know, it's almost like purple compared to like the blue and light blue and black, or kind of like light blue and gray of this one. But I mean, this is pretty close. I mean, again, this is darker, but I'd say that, you know, it's passable. But this is the area of the card that's a giveaway from just looking at it. But again, to the untrained eye or across a table or in a sleeve, I mean, I don't think somebody could tell that, you know, what's what in all this. You know, somebody's going to be like, well, that one looks a little lighter. But other than that, you know, it's like, these are both fake, you know. So, and I mean, this is not, you know, and it's like, these colors look kind of close, you know. It's not, it's crazy. So there you go. So there's that. What else we got? Let's be a little careful with the actual one here. Get these fakies out of the way. Put these to the side. I don't think I'm going to mess with getting this out because I think we've got the idea by now. But check out these demonic tutors, man. Look at the color on these. That's the only reason these don't look real to me, because these look really good. They just look too good. The problem is that obviously, other than the copyright at the bottom, this looks like a 4th edition card. Like, just the coloring is so dark and crisp and bold that it looks like a 4th edition card to me, not a revised card. So I mean, if you look at this, hell, or you know what? Actually, there we go. I can do things with one hand. Giggity. So yeah, so you see how kind of faded the revised card looks here compared to the counterfeit. Still, I mean, the artwork this looks better, you know? I mean, but like the casting costs look pretty good. I mean, this is obviously the fake casting cost. You know what? I never noticed that. Look at the skull and how there's not like the fine details on like the teeth of the skull. It's kind of like a broken jaw compared to the actual card. You know, see how much longer and like more defined it is. But man, that's crazy. Those are pretty good. The black looks good. It just looks a little too dark. It looks a little too good. We're about to the end here, so let's see here. That's my actual. And then we're basically to the end. We got a candelabra. I mean, again, I don't have one to compare here, but that looks pretty good. Same old story. It's got that kind of waxy, reflective shine to it. But otherwise, that's fairly convincing. I mean, the bordering looks pretty good on it. It doesn't have that two-tone kind of thing going on like a lot of them do. And then last here, let's see if we can't do a little tricky. So I'm going to try to get this out of the sleeve if I can. Not so easy to do all this one-handed. So sorry. Appreciate everybody that's still watching or bearing with this. Can you tell? Can you tell which is real? Which one is the real Wheel of Fortune, ladies and gentlemen? Now this card probably goes for, I don't know, I haven't looked in a while. Say 75 bucks, 100 bucks maybe? I don't know. You probably sell it to Star City Games, they'll give you $12.50 for it. I mean, without a card to kind of put beside them and compare it to, actually let's do that. Let's grab another revised card. Let's kind of not get ourselves any binder dings here. Let's go a little gentle. All right, so what do we feel like? I don't have another Wheel of Fortune in this binder. Let's just grab whatever. Grab something that looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's Disintegrate, looks kind of minty. All right, does that help? Does that make it harder? Can you tell what's what? Now for me, it's pretty hard to tell just with these, I feel like. I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, without something to compare them to, they're both pretty convincing. I mean, this one has a little more of a faded look to it, but Revised had a faded look to it. So, you know, this one looks a little bit more saturated in its color, and Revised was kind of desaturated. But when you put this one with it, to me, then it's obvious that this color doesn't go with this card. It goes with this card. These cards are real. And this card is a waxy ass knockoff. But check that out, man. That's almost scary to me. So anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else here to really showcase. Again, let me just say that if anybody's interested in getting any of this stuff, please don't be a doucher. Don't try to hose anybody. Don't try to rip anybody off. It's totally not cool. And yeah, I really don't have anything else to add. I'm going to clean all this up, put some of these proxies into my decks, put some of the stuff that was in my decks in sleeves and protectors, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with some of this stuff, you know, like what the hell am I gonna do with like a moat or an abyss, you know? Part of me wants to rip this card just to show you the core, but I'm just gonna tell you about it instead. If you were to rip an actual Magic card, you'd be able to see the white inner lining has a light blue tint to it. You can see the light blue core to the paper, where with all the counterfeits, if you rip them, I mean, you can get different colored paper, but for it to be a card that seems kind of convincing, they use the black core. And so if you rip it, that inside liner will be white paper, but there'll be like a black inner lining tint to it. And I don't have two hands to do that on video anyway, so la-di-da. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to see more of. You want to see more Magic cards, you want to see some decks, you want to see me go through some of my collection, just show you all the crap that I got laying around. Send me a message, comment below, let me know. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. See ya.